first time at Folk Fest, I was actually in my mom's tummy.
15 years since we met.
Yes.
Folk Fest.
We got engaged.
Let's do it. It really is like coming home, and it really feels like a family.
It's been really good so far, and I love Folk Fest.
And now we're getting married 10 years later, and it was all because our first date was at Folk Fest.
You can find any kind of genre here.
I've been going to the festival for 18 years. I'm 18 years old, so my whole life.
We met at the festival in 2017, and we've been together ever since.
I was 7 weeks old.
I was 1 month old when I first came.
We're over 30 now, so it's like it's deep in our like culture. Yeah.
Thank you. Great. Watch your head going up.
It was a sweaty kiss.
Sweaty kiss.
I don't care if I talk to a 4-year-old or a 99-year-old. Their definitions of love are all beautiful and profound and personal. And I think that's the epitome of this festival, is it's a love festival.
We met at the Big Blue Tent, and Russ was volunteering as security. It was pouring rain, and I was getting soaked.
So here's this poor girl standing on the outside of the tent getting drenched. So we pulled her in, we made room for one more.
Yeah. And he called me and we went on a date, and that was 10 years ago today.
We are both Folk Fest babies. We both wanted to get tattoos, and just getting tattoos together, we walk into the tattoo parlor, and neither of us had shared what we wanted, and we both said at the same time, a dragonfly.
I had come to the first festival with my wife, and the last festival my wife was able to come to before she died was in 2018. And that year was St. Paul and the Broken Bones. And so we were both up at the front, and the band was awesome. He actually walked right up to me where I was standing at the fence, and that was the last time my wife was able to come to the Folk Festival, maybe even the last night we were here.
Like, your life changes with Folk Fest. You know, I'm 13 years in now, right? So and now I have 2 babies, a husband, a house in Winnipeg. I'm never leaving. It's just been a good time. Yeah. I'm getting old at Folk Fest. 1 year at a time, or getting better at Folk Fest, 1 year at a time.
What was nice about 92 was back in the days when they made stage announcements. So they announced our name on stage that we were getting engaged, or that we were engaged to be married on the following Saturday.
Biggest mistake was not in bringing a 3.5-day-old to Folk Fest. It was in thinking that a 3.5 postpartum mom could sit on the ground for 12 hours. She was fine, but I really wasn't.
At one point, I was very largely pregnant during the Folk Festival, like 3 weeks overdue. Hugo Torres, who's a Chilean performer, and he was up on stage. So he was singing along and playing his pan flute. He just slipped right into his words, his lyrics, "So Eileen, when are you having that baby?" And then he just kept right on playing. And I looked at my husband and went, like, "Did you hear that?" And he's like, "Oh yeah."
It was like every festival was spent over at the kids' tent, just, doing pottery, face painting. As I started to get older, then I'd start to camp on my own at the festival campground and bring some friends.
When I was 9 or 10, Lady Smith Black Mambazo was a guest of the festival. It was also the first year that I was old enough to have a free-range festival experience. A guy comes up that I saw at the workshop, and he asks if he can join in our game. It was my first kind of rock star moment too, because I got to run back to my mom. It's like, I met Lady Smith Black Mambazo.
It's a family reunion of your blood family and the family that everyone's met along their seasons here and their life here.
So had I not come home to Winnipeg Folk Festival and not been able to drive thanks to the beer tent, then I wouldn't have hitchhiked, and I wouldn't have met my husband, and Bruce wouldn't exist in the world. And he's lovely, so thank you, Winnipeg Folk Festival.
I think I must have been about 3 years old. I remember being in Mainfield, and it was time to go, and pretending that I was sleeping so that my father would carry me out, or I wouldn't have to walk out. And I'll never forget walking down that main pathway, or being carried in his arms, looking up at the stars and hearing the music filtering through the forest and just being in heaven.
I have been coming to the folk festival since I was 3 months old. Every tradition and every marker of my life has had a moment that the festival has been involved with. I've quit a job to come back. I have left my family to come back in order to be here with the rest of my family, whether we're related by blood or not.
I was telling people this weekend, it's like an elastic band. You know, everybody comes here during the festival, and then the elastic band stretches out, and we go into our various communities, and then we all just get pulled back again every year.